Alright, so we're here at Teal Gardens on the front nine. Give this one a shot. So this first hole, biggest thing you want to worry about really is that fairway slopes down to the left, and the second shot is a pretty straight shot in, so we're just going to get it out there. Give it a little extra boost, why not? But we are going to just make sure we don't go in that sand, so we're going to push a little bit this way and try to get that wind straight on for the second shot. See, it comes in there to the left. This next one, we're just going to try to wind cut it in there and see if it'll roll right into the hole. That would be nice. A little short. I do find this one plays a little short. Got to get used to that. This one, geez. I know that anyone who's played this course knows that you can just fly it out into the fairway here. On this shot, it probably is the best shot, but I'm just going to show you something else that you can do on this hole if you want to. You can come up here and you can actually get around this building here with a driver. I'm going to power ball it just to make sure I get some distance, and that tree on the other side is pretty forgiving. So if you curl it around a little bit, it'll go right through that tree and you'll get a nice shot here. This is good if that hole's in the middle of the green there. In this case, it's not best case scenario because you do have to play out of the rough, but if you club up a little bit, you're usually doing okay. So I'm going to go 4-iron here and hit it pretty good. But it's a good little trick that can come in handy, and it takes all the elevation out of your second shot, which is nice, especially if there's crazy wind going on. But it makes it still a pretty easy shot. So this one, I'm glad it gave me it in this position. So, you know, in this case, you can go 6 wood around the tree here, which probably, again, is the best choice to do for this hole. But again, I just want to show you something else that you can do. If you golden tee this, see that gap up in the trees up there? You can actually get over that with a 6 wood. So I'm going to give that a shot just because I'm trying to show you some things. I'm going to curl it fairly good just to make sure that I have enough curl to get onto the green there. Maybe take a touch up, hit it full speed. But you can see you can make it there. That's helpful if you're in one of those other tee boxes that it really doesn't let you get around, and that hole is down there on the left-hand side. You kind of need a way to get all the way around, and if the trees are in your way, you can't do it unless you go over the trees there. So it's a good little trick to know. This one always plays short. Always. You always need a little more club than you think you do. It doesn't feel like it is like that, but you know, every time it's going to come up short. It makes it a little bit tough to judge. But I mean, I teed that with a wind in my back, and it's still landed pretty close to where the hole is, and I hit it full power. This one, you can either get up here on this little piece of the island or peninsula there and just kind of stop it and get a nice curl shot around the trees on the next shot. Right there, you can kind of curl it around and get there. Obviously, there's this thing out here, which I really like. In this case, I do like the power ball on this shot because it does land really soft and kind of stops it. I don't even think I'm going to tee it for this shot because it's wind in your back, and I'm just going to power ball it up there and see what happens. Hopefully it'll stop. There's a lot of wind, but I'm not too worried about it. We'll find out, I guess. Yeah, kind of like wherever it lands, it's pretty much going to stop, and that's good because it does like to kick it over there to the right. And this one plays short, so I think with this 3-wood, I'm even a little nervous about not getting quite far enough. We'll see. I think we'll be okay though in this case. It's pretty far past the pin. So I'm just going to backspin it just for the wind. And get it right up there. The driver plays real short on that hole. So if you ever have a driver shot, account that it's going to land a little shorter than you expect. Sometimes I won't even put roll on it and just let it roll up in there, and it usually does a pretty good job with the driver. This one, you do have to be cautious that there is this grass in front of you from this tee box. All kinds of stuff going on. And obviously that's a really tiny little spot to land on. Let's see what this looks like. With that 9-mile-an-hour wind, I'm not too worried about that stuff. Even with the driver, I think it's going to be okay. Maybe I'll tee it. I think in this case I'm just going to super sticky and try to get it to land. It's hard having that stuff in your face. You can't really see what's going on. And I wear glasses. That'll work. Pretty much hit that full speed, and with the driver you can get over that nonsense. And other tee boxes, that bamboo's right in your face, and you got to watch out for that because it is high enough on some other tee boxes that it will hit. It'll stop your shot. You need like a 6-wood or something to get over it. This one kind of plays short with a 3-iron, which it gives you a lot of times, but I feel like with these other clubs, especially with the wind in your back, it's not going to play quite as short. So I'm going to play a little cautiously here, but why not? We're going to try to land right in there. See, I took just a touch off. If I would have put full power on that, it probably would have been wet. So this one, you got to get it somewhere up there in between those two ponds and past the sand. It's generally not too hard of a shot from any tee box. You just got to be careful that no matter what you do, you don't want to get it into those ponds, which is fairly easy to do, really. I think we're going to leave. I think we're going to go no ball on this and just curl it around and see if we can just kind of get it to roll up in there. So it's okay. The further you get up between there, the better. This next shot is extremely deceiving. Like, even that makes me nervous that it's not going to get there. So I'm actually going to club up on this one, believe it or not, and backspin it. This one, it's way uphill, so anything you hit, it really just wants to kind of die early. So 10 in your back, 3 wood, and it's still going to be short. It's a little nuts. It's hard to get used to, but once you get used to it, it makes it a fairly easy shot. You can, even if you're kind of short, if that 3 wood, driver's scary on that because it really, driver doesn't have the loft to get up there. You can, but it doesn't really, it's not the ideal shot. So you can use a power ball on that last hole with like a 3 wood if it's saying that you're going to basically be, the distance is right to the pin, you can power ball it up there and get there. This is probably the toughest tee box for this one. I know in the cabinet, I used to go around this way a lot. I haven't tried it in mobile yet. But in the cabinet, I felt like because you could slam the ball, you could tee it over here and just hit it as hard as you can, and you could get around there. Like I said, I haven't tried it yet. It's still making me a little nervous to try. I'll try it sometime. But for this, I'm going to maybe try this. This is still making me nervous. I don't like this shot. Either way, I'm going to do this. So the problem here with the driver, you still have that thing in your face, which makes it really difficult. So I think I'm going to go 3 wood here. You got wind in your face. There's nothing that's really beautiful about this shot right now. Potentially try wind cutter, but even that feels a little short. Let's see. Let's try the power ball. Still not sure about this shot, but yeah, that's a tough one. I think if I had more curl on that, it probably would have ended up just fine and would have given me a nice shot in. Out of the sand, it's a good way to show you this anyway. Sometimes I do like to use the all-terrain ball because it just, that way you can line up, you know, it says 15 yards to the pin. It's going to go 15 yards to the pin, and then you factor in the wind. Without that, you're just kind of, you know, the sand's going to take a little bit off the ball, and it just makes it a little strange. So let's try this, and we'll pull back close to 15-ish. Factor in a little more for the wind, and just try to roll it up there. So I'm pulling back basically around 20. A little too hard. Maybe would have gone. But we'll end it up with a birdie. That was a tough tee box. But try a few different things. I mean, definitely if I would have hit that 3 wood correctly, with a little bit more curl, I think I would have been okay and probably would have landed on the green, and the power ball would have had that nice soft landing. It's just a tough tee box, but hey, leave something for you to figure out on your own. So good luck.